before, and there's just one more game to get ready for it tonight. Last Saturday, playing without their starting center, the Orange got another big game from Rick Jackson. Another boost from their bench, and some dueling daggers to beat the Bonnies. Tonight, Oakland making its second straight trip to the Carrier Dome. The Golden Grizzlies with all 5 starters back from a team that won 23 times last year, but still looking for a program-making win, while the Orange seek the dandy dozen. Syracuse and Oakland tip it off next. From the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, Orange fans taking a break from their holiday shopping to take in some hoops tonight. 5th-ranked Syracuse playing its final Big East tune-up against the favorites from the Summit League, the Golden Grizzlies of Oakland, who traveled coast to coast in the last couple of days. Hello again, everyone. Happy holidays from all of us here at Time Warner Cable Sports. Mark Larson alongside the mayor, Danny Liedtke, as we've got the final Big East tune-up tonight with the Oakland Grizzlies. Second straight year these two teams have met, Danny. But now, as the conference season approaches, what do you think we've learned about the Orange in the first 11 games? I
think they've got just a ton of offensive weapons, a lot of guys that can get it done. Very unselfish team. I think when they're motivated and they play solid defense, they've proven they can beat the cream of the crop in the entire country. Just a very talented team, and I think a lot of upside for this team as we move forward. All
right, and of course we're moving forward to the Big East season next Tuesday night at Seton Hall. What's it going to take for them to have success in the league season? Our keys to the season brought to you by Herb Phillipson's Outfitters for the Great Outdoors.
Well, defensive consistency, a few things underneath that umbrella. First of all, obviously the zone defense needs to be more consistent. It's very effective when they're in tune and they're awake, and they need to do a better job on the glass consistently if they're going to win. Depth development, that bench so far has proven they can shoulder the load when they get in there. Will that bench get shorter? But they're going to need some production coming off the bench to compete in the Big East. And then finally, health obviously a big issue. Onuaku's been banged up. Routon certainly has been banged up. Keeping those guys healthy is going to be a big factor as they go into the Big East.
The Oakland Grizzlies, a team that'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime. They played at Kansas. They played at Memphis. They played at Michigan State. They played at Oregon Saturday night, and here they are at Syracuse tonight. Jonathan Jones, the energy guy, and the guy who led the nation in assists last year.
Yeah, nice little guard. Love the way this kid plays. His ability to penetrate, get through the cracks, get through the seams is very impressive. Love to watch him run the show. And then the big fella, Keith Benson, very lanky. Going to have to keep an eye on him along the baseline, type of guy that can come up over the top and take that alley-oop pass along the baseline, a big offensive weapon for the Grizzlies.
And Keith Benson, a guy who a lot of people are saying will be a first-round pick in next year's NBA draft if he comes out early. Now, the concern for the Orange is Arinze Onuaku may not play tonight. He was hurting against St. Bonaventure, and of course Keith Benson being the best player for Oakland, you've got to have that good center. So in his place against St. Bonaventure, Rick Jackson filling in nicely, his second double-double in his last 3 outings.
In a big way, and this kid's prepared for every scenario. I love the way he stepped up when Onuaku went to the bench. He really has developed his game nicely where he's very balanced offensively, a ton of low post moves. He can rebound the basketball, he can block shots, and he's starting to become that spiritual leader on the floor, really gets behind the guys, uses his mouth to motivate.
And the Orange leading scorer and rebounder, Wesley Johnson, Danny, does it all, and he also is hitting the three better than 54%.
And the sign of a great player to me are the nights when he hasn't been called upon to score. He steps in and does other things like pass the basketball, rebound. We know he can score points, but this kid really adjusts nicely to game scenarios. What a nice addition to this team. He's just a fantastic player, one of the best we've seen here.
Yeah, they're talking about Big East Player of the Year perhaps for Wesley. There's a lot of room left to prove that as the Orange close out their pre-Big East season tonight and get set for a trip down to Seton Hall next Tuesday. The Grizzlies and the Orange when we come back.
Time Warner Cable Sports coverage of Syracuse University basketball is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By Hillside Family of Agencies, building better futures with children and families. And by Community General Hospital, the #1 ranked hospital in New York for orthopedics. SU Basketball and Community General Hospital, the best keeps getting better.
Welcome back to the Carrier Dome, everyone. Syracuse playing at the Dome for the 7th time in 8 games, while the Oakland Grizzlies are playing on the road for the 6th time in 7 games. A road trip that began in Memphis, Tennessee, and ends up here in Syracuse tonight. Let's take a look at our starting lineups, brought to you as always by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. For the Grizzlies, Derek Nelson, who played only 2 games last year, broke his foot, is back in the starting lineup. He was the preseason player of the year in the Summit League last year. Larry Wright, the St. John's transfer, has played 2 games here at the Dome and hit 4 threes in those 2 games. And Will Hudson, wearing number 11 this year, he was number 4 last year. A Madison, Wisconsin native, big Brett Favre fan, switched his number when he thought Favre was retiring from number 4 last year. The Orange, Andy Routen's 30 assists last 5 games. Brandon Trish and Chris Joseph making his 3rd career start. 12 points, 8 rebounds his last 3 outings. He's starting in place of Onuaku. Jim Boeheim, the Hall of Famer, his 10th 11-0 start this season. Greg Campy, 26th year at Oakland, so a combined 60 years of loyalty between these two. 5th longest tenure at one school for Campy. Of course, Boeheim #1 on that list. And tonight's officials, John Cal, Chris Beaver, and Ray Perone. Cal was last seen down at Madison Square Garden last night doing the championship game of the Holiday Festival, won by Cornell over St. John's. Up here in the Cuse tonight for SU's final pre-Big East game. Conference season starts next Tuesday in Newark. And the Grizzlies have won the opening tip. And they go to Benson on the lob, and he left it short. That's Keith Benson, the NBA prospect. A little tentative on that alley-oop. Jackson reverse, just rolled off the front of the rim. Looked down into the cup and then came out. Quick pace to begin the game, and Larry Wright with the first bucket from the baseline.
Yeah, they got the ball up the floor very quick, found the open shooter, and a good ability to create with the dribble to create some separation for that shot.
Johnson looking to answer, a little bit long. Joseph, offensive rebound. Jackson another, and he scored it, plus the foul. So how about 5 shots in the first 45 seconds of this one?
It's a flurry. I'm looking for the oxygen already, but Rick Jackson extremely active early on in the offense. Here you see he does a great job on the offensive glass here on the Joseph miss. Takes it up strong, uses the rim to shield, draws the foul, and completes the 3-point play. Nice start for Rick Jackson.
Rick Jackson, a much better free throw shooter this year. 67% from the floor. He's got the 3-point play coming off the 18-point, 10 rebound performance against St. Bonaventure Saturday. Right from downtown, a little bit long, and Joseph grabs the rebound. Is that a whistle? It's just going to be Syracuse basketball. So 6 shots now in the first minute of the ball game as both teams looking to get warmed up quickly. Routen's passing it up. Joseph can't handle it. Out of bounds off Syracuse.
And that man-to-man defense by Oakland. Syracuse obviously trying to get the ball into Jackson there. But that time they try to go to Joseph, and not a great spot in the floor for him to catch the ball. And that causes the turnover.
And I call Rick Jackson with a little hold down low on the defensive end as Ray Perone makes the call. So Chris Joseph in the starting lineup tonight for the 3rd time in his career. Started a couple games last year and scored only 11 points in those 2 games. See what kind of adjustment he has to make to being in the starting lineup. Offensive putback won't go for Nelson, and the Orange able to clear. Joseph, strong take, a lot of contact. And the ball out of bounds. Last touch by Benson. Got a hand on it.
Nice aggressive move with the dribble, but you see he creates the contact here. Good no call by the official. Tries to go up and under, and those long, lanky arms of Benson gets a piece of that ball.
Another block shot for Benson, who set a school record last year with 87 blocks. And he's among the nation's leaders this season. A takeaway. Nelson with it. And the Grizzlies looking for the lead here. Oakland playing out in Oregon Saturday night against the Ducks. Played a couple games out there in the Pacific Northwest. Left Portland as the Orange tip it away Sunday. Got back to Oakland early Monday morning, left Monday afternoon to come to Syracuse.
Joseph took an elbow up in the eye on that screen there. The official did not see it. He's smarting pretty good, Mark.
And Chris Joseph holding the right side of his head there. The Orange have been taking a beating. That St. Bonaventure game, the most physical of the season, as Andy Routens absorbed a low blow below the belt. Arinze Onuaku hurt his right leg. He's sitting on the bench right now. Don't know if we'll see him tonight or not. Of course, the sense is the Orange want to save him for the Big East season. But a guy who started 83 of the last 84 games on the bench as Routens strips it. 10th in the nation in steals, but only won his last 3. Trish knocks down the 3. And the Orange expand the lead.
That was a facet of his game in high school that I really liked. He had the ability to play the point, and then he also had the ability to slide over and take the scorer's role. And mentally, that's not an easy thing to do. But Brandon Trish, a great outside shooter, and he was ready on the catch there.
And I think what I'm most impressed about with Trish is his shot selection. Guy's shooting almost 60% as a guard in his first 11 college basketball games.
Good observation. Yeah, absolutely. Never forces a shot. He's ready here. You see on this pass from Joseph, squares up, and just perfect form, perfect squareness to the basket, and a beautiful stroke.
Trish about 40% from three-point range. Hit a couple of big ones in the Bonaventure game. Now takes it to the hole and lost it. Jones stripped it loose. Johnson gets it back and lays it in. Now Wesley, a little garbage bucket. And the Orange up 8-2 now. They've scored the last 8. Nelson into the lane. Little floater rattled out. Halfway down and out for Derek Nelson.
Tough break there. Did a nice job penetrating.
Beautiful feed. Andy Routens finds Jackson. And the Orange have scored 10 in a row, and Greg Campy wants time.
Yeah, that one's just too easy. I mean, they allow Jackson to streak down the lane. The defense is totally focused on the basketball. Nobody picks up the cutter, and that's just easy pickings for Jackson. I mean, watch the defense, the way everybody's focused on the ball. They lose sight of the cutter, and Routens is just a heady player. His head's up the whole time. Easy basket.
A nice move to the hoop by Rick Jackson, who has 5 of the 10.
Just a big breakdown defensively. Lack of communication there, and Routens drew the defense up. Nice pass.
Well, this really is a recipe for disaster for Oakland. I talked with Coach Campy this morning at their shoot-around. He said, our legs are tired. We're exhausted. It's been a long trip. We are getting paid for this game, so that helps. And there's where Joseph took the elbow, apparently from Will Hudson. Not enough to knock him out of the game, though. But yeah, Coach Campy's team is tired. After coming all the way from the West Coast to play this one, he said, you know what, we did the same thing last year, and you'd think I'd learn from it. But they're making a lot of money. As I mentioned, they're playing at Kansas, at Memphis, at Michigan State, at Oregon. And they're pocketing, close to $500,000 for all these big-time road games, and that helps the budget. As Nelson knifes inside and stops the 10-0 run.
Yep, good use of the baseline. Syracuse doesn't seal, and he's just got that quick first step. You give up the baseline, that's what happens.
Coach Campy also talking about how he needs to get Nelson back to where he was 2 seasons ago. Deep one for Andy. Front rim, Wesley, the putback.
So tough on that weak side. He's got the ability, A, he's got a height advantage, B, the ability to elevate strong rebound and a good finish.
And the Orange up 9-3 in the rebounding department.
And that's a good sign, Mark. We've seen them, you know, there's been games where they've struggled. St. Francis out-rebounded them. That's not acceptable.
Lob to, I thought it was Hudson. It's actually off the bench for Oakland, Drew Maynard.
And that type of play hurt them early on. Last game, people on the floor have to communicate to one another where the cutter is at all times. They sneak in behind the defense, and a pretty setup over the top of the D.
And nice springs by Maynard as Jones strips it from Scoop. Maynard now will shoot the long-range bomb, and off the back rim, Joseph on the run with a rebound. Behind Scoop Jardine, and he's not able to get back for it, so back-to-back turnovers.
That will drive a coach nuts.
All right, but on the bright side, Wesley Johnson rebound, bucket in the Orange, doubling up the Grizz. Plenty of fans out on a holiday week as the Orange look for their 10th straight dome win here tonight against the Oakland Grizzlies. The Golden Grizzlies from Oakland County, Michigan, in case you're wondering. Make their home in Rochester, Michigan. But they have played anybody, anywhere, anytime, and coach says they'll continue to do it. They need it for their RPI. Benson off the backboard. He's 0 for 2 early. Joseph takes it right through the Grizzly defense. Johnson, another rebound bucket.
Those are the little things that he does so well. His work without the basketball. Johnson knows how to rebound, knows how to get offensive boards. Joseph did everything right but finished there. That's where you have to get him the ball on the floor on the wing when he's in transition.
Jonathan Jones took some steps in a turnover by the Grizzlies, who look like a fatigued team a little bit. Just not quite there. This is a team that's the overwhelming favorite to win the Summit League this year, a league that includes Oral Roberts, IUPUI is the other team to beat in that league. 34 of 35 first place votes. The only guy who didn't vote for him was Coach Camping. He couldn't. So almost, well, a unanimous pick to win it. So this is a team that will probably be in the NCAA tournament at the end of the year. Well, they're struggling with this tough schedule here in the preseason. 6-6 coming in as Jackson misfires in close.
Good post defense by Benson. He gave him that little bump and got him away from the basket. Wasn't able to finish there.
That is deep from Maynard, who's got some range to go with those hops. Maynard makes it a 5-point game. Hand check whistled against Jonathan Jones out top. That is Jones' second foul. Maynard showing the distance.
Yeah, and you see there the zone didn't have that extension. You had the two top guys kind of compacted in around the free throw line. That is going to give Oakland the ability to shoot the three if they don't spread that out and rotate a little bit better.
Beautiful job by Jones, stepping in front. lays it up, drew the foul on Andy Routens. And Jones will head to the free throw line.
His first, the team seven.
Jim Boeheim's expression tells it all.
He's got great speed in the open court, and Routens has to make up ground. And you see there he goes up high for the ball, and he's certainly questioning the call. Not a ton of contact, but nonetheless, 2 free throws.
Jones, the preseason player of the year in the Summit League and a preseason mid-major All-American, making his 113th start tonight at Oakland. That is tied for first in school history. Started every game he's played there. First all-time in assists in the Summit League, and 2 for 2 at the line.
And the turnovers keeping this game close. Mark, 5 turnovers early on for Syracuse, just 2 for Oakland. Syracuse is shooting the ball extremely well. It's the turnovers that's keeping this game as close as it is at this point.
And if the Orange weren't out rebounding him 12-3, Oakland could have the lead right now. Riley missed the layup as Maynard trying to draw the charge. Now the Grizzlies can tie it up. They'll go for it. Back rim, and Trish strong for the rebound. 4-on-2 for the Orange. Routens in transition. Trish tracked it down, feeds Jackson for the stuff.
Beautiful feed, but I like the patience of Jackson there, giving the head fake, let the defender go by, and then send it down to finish. Good patience and a great ability on the missed shot. You know, shooters and the guards crashing the boards there. Nobody boxes them out. Trish takes advantage.
7 points for Jackson. Foul on the shot by Benson goes in, and he'll head to the free throw line. Shante Riley hooking up with Benson, a couple of Detroit Country Day grads, and Benson had the upper hand. So Keith Benson to the free throw line. When we come back, Rick Jackson helping the Orange stay up by 3.
Time Warner Cable Sports coverage. Time Warner Cable Sports coverage of Syracuse University basketball is sponsored by Northside Collision Centers, by your local Nationwide insurance agents. Nationwide is on your side. By Herb Phillipson's, outfitters for the great outdoors, Liverpool, Oneida, Rome, and New Hartford. And by Surgical Services at Krause Hospital, your care in our hands.
Orange have led by as many as 8. That lead down to 3 as Benson missing out on a chance for a 3-point play. Syracuse had scored 10 straight points to take a big lead here. Grizzlies battling back as Johnson, athletic move to the hoop. He took a shot to the jaw, looks like, and he'll head to the free throw line.
The ability to hang is so impressive with this young man. Watch the elevation, and he's up in the air a long time, able to draw the contact, but that one right across the cheekbone.
First foul on Keith Benson. Johnson swishing the free throw. He's got 7 to tie Rick Jackson for team scoring honors and keep it at 7. Orange up by 4. About midway through this first half. Johnson knocks it away and Routen's up with it. Joseph back to Wesley for the finish.
Great transition. Joseph makes the right play there. He makes up his mind at the free throw line. And the finisher, the ultimate finisher, is Johnson. Feeds him nicely in stride. When he's up in the air in that situation, it's lights out.
Yeah, Wesley still trying to blink off that shot to the chin on the last possession. Able to convert. Another steal. Another break. Another layup.
What a gorgeous pass. Another one. Routen's really, when you put it on a difficulty scale and some of these passes he makes, that one's up there. That's across the court. Baseball pass, bounce pass, on the money, in stride through 2 defenders. That is impressive.
Maynard short from the corner, and Wesley, the weak side rebound. Orange had pushed the lead back to 8. Wesley wide open baseline. That is too easy.
Well, before the transition, I was about to say Syracuse is waiting for that chance to break out. I think it's here right now. They've got some things going really well. They're running in transition. And Johnson starting to heat up. Not a good sign for the Grizz.
Yeah, there's some games where Wesley has 3 or 4 points at halftime and just kind of feels his way to a double-double. He's got 11 already here in the first 10 minutes as Liedrich Eccles, the freshman, pick up the foul at midcourt, but a pretty move on the offensive end. That's Liddell Eccles' kid out of Louisiana. And the highest rated recruit that Greg Campy's been able to pull in. This guy had other offers from Nebraska, Eastern Carolina, Southern Miss, UAB, and he came to Oakland. And that's a sign that he's got that program starting to become nationally known. Part of it's that schedule.
Good help defense there. See, they forced him to spin to the wrong side, the tough side, and the defense paid off there.
Eccles nearly stripped. Grizz get it back. SYRACUSE getting a little game here in the first half from these guys. Five to shoot. Eccles. Floater short. Jackson may have gotten a piece. And the Orange make the defensive stand. Trish. Swish.
Gorgeous stroke. Wow. I mean, you see why he shoots the ball at such a high percentage. Everything is in order when he catches the basketball. Just perfect fundamental stroke by Brandon Trish.
3 for 3. Nice start for the freshman Trish. Boy, JD was great with Andy and with Brandon separately. If they would have been in school together, come on. And the largest lead for the Orange at 11.
Good job, Trish.
Jones, yep. Trish coming over to help, forcing the pass. Routen's just off the front rim. Benson, the defensive rebound, is Renzi Onuaku getting set to check in. Going to give it a test run here. A little garbage bucket underneath for Maynard. He's got 7 off the bench. Nice crowd here, but a very quiet crowd at the Carrier Dome. Trish still hasn't missed. He's in a couple of bombs, make it 3 for 3 3-pointers. And the layup for Trish, he's got 11.
Gotta give Syracuse credit, though. He's got the hot hand, and they're doing a good job working the ball and finding him open.
And Brandon's expression never really changes, does it?
Yeah, he's very stone-faced.
Up for grabs. Jones taps it. Eccles off Jackson, and off Eccles again, and out of bounds to Syracuse. Now the Grizzlies are game, but the Orange have just a little bit too much, and they're up a dozen here with 7:28 left first half. Brandon Trish had scored 19 points in his last 3 games coming in. He's got 11 on 4 of 4 from the floor so far.
Yeah, really the catalyst offensively. But you see on the catch, everything's perfect. Hips, shoulders, everything's in line. Perfect as far as his elbow. Nice tucked inside, nice right angle. Ball on the fingertips. Just a fundamental, perfect package for Brandon, shooting the ball well. And you talked about his success from the floor this season. He doesn't force the issue. He takes good shots, and everything's in balance when he does take that shot. So having a remarkable year, stepping into, let's face it, he was stepping into a pretty high-focus, stressful situation with the loss of Johnny Flynn. And between Trish and Jardine, I think they've handled it to the point where that name's not mentioned often.
Right about that. Wesley Johnson is 6 of 7 from the floor. He's got 14 and 6 rebounds. And we've got 7 minutes left in the first half. So Wesley, who, as I just mentioned moments ago, has gotten off to some slow starts. I don't know if he's had a better start than tonight.
Those are the numbers your son hangs on you in the video game at home.
That's right. Yeah, and in the first half, too. Trish, a little out of control up in the air. His first little, you know, every once in a while, and I mean very once in a while, you do remember he's a freshman. Boy, the Grizzlies at stone cold from downtown. 1 for 11 now from three-point range. Yeah, that's not going to help you. 9%. Rinzi Onuaku is on the floor, by the way. Did not start the game, but the senior out there testing his sore right leg. The official word was a right quad injury against St. Bonaventure, and I think they just want to give him a few minutes to keep him loose, test it out, but they're not going to stress him out too much with the Big East opener next Tuesday.
He's already has a grimace on his face, so I'd be surprised if he spends a great deal of time in the lineup. But those type of injuries, you hit it on the head. Trying to keep that loose and stretched out, that's a very, very painful injury.
Chris Joseph still looking for his first point here. Made his 3rd career start tonight. There's his first point. He does have 3 boards and 3 assists as the Orange on a 17-4 run now after Oakland had cut it to 3. Maynard off the bench with 10 points. First Grizzly in double figures. And he's got both of their threes.
Half their points off the bench. That's a great job stepping up off the pine for the Grizz.
And only a 22% three-point shooter this year. 2 for 5 from there tonight. Trish able to draw the foul on the drive. That is the 18th foul against Oakland, so Brandon will have a 1-and-1, 17th foul, correction. There's Keith Benson. We have not called his name much tonight. They went to him right off the opening tip on the lob alley-oop. And he kind of came up short on it. Kind of alligator armed it. Not sure if he expected a little contact, but has not been a factor to this point. And this is a guy, again, averaging a double-double coming in and a potential first-round pick, according to the experts, in the NBA draft next June. Nice hand for Brandon Trish as he leaves the game with a perfect night going. 4 for 4, 13 points, replaced by Scoop Jardine.
Nice little line going. 13 points, 3 rebounds, and a couple of assists. So it's been a big factor in this offense.
Nelson double clutch, wild shot. The Grizzlies just not getting very good looks on the offensive end.
You see the job that Oakland's doing off the bench. 12 zip, and that changes instantly with Mookie.
And Mookie Jones, first bench points for the Orange. Pretty little spin to the hole.
And this is the area, excuse me, Mark, where he's got to get better in this zone. Right there is a great scenario. He's got to get over and defend those shots, challenge the shooter.
Benson down low, dumps it in. Keith Benson's second field goal, just 4 points for the big man and 3 rebounds here with 4:25 left in the first half. Orange in control. Jumped out to an 8-point lead early. Oakland cut it to 3. And a big run for Syracuse. The lead at 15.
How about this 3-2 zone with the Benson at the top?
Joseph, not his strong point. And boy, Onuaku must not be there because Maynard just ripped it away from him.
Yeah, he's certainly not going full strength. At the other end with Benson on the catch, no challenge from Onuaku. You can see he's definitely hobbled substantially. And that's not something you see often.
No, almost never. Chris Joseph, not a 3-point shooter. 3 for 19 now outside the arc. Pretty good mid-range stroke. There's the lob again to Maynard. Second time in the game. And Coach Boeheim, his hands out, asking why.
Last 2 games, that play has really given Syracuse fits. You know, they reverse the ball, they go diagonal over the top of the zone. They just lose track of the baseline.
Drew Maynard with 12 of those bench points for the Grizzlies. Now 3 Grizzlies all alone underneath for the rebound, and it goes off them and out of bounds. And Greg Campy has, well, he's feeling a little more tired now. So Oakland trying to battle themselves back into this one, down 13, but it'll be Orange basketball.
City Basketball is sponsored by McDonald's. Time Warner Cable Sports coverage of Syracuse University basketball is sponsored by McDonald's. I'm loving it. By KBM Management. Innovative ideas, valuable solutions, professional guidance. By the Carbone Auto Group. With you every step of the way. And by Community General Hospital, the #1 ranked hospital in New York for orthopedics. SU Basketball and Community General Hospital. The best keeps getting better.
3:14 and counting to go here in the first half. The Oakland Grizzlies trying to battle the Orange. Scoop Giardino to the hole. His first hoop. And the familiar scoop from the crowd. Under 3 minutes left first half. And the Grizzlies 6-0 this year when leading at the half and 0-6 when trailing. Will have their work cut out. Mookie almost forcing the turnover. Grizzlies cannot get their big man Keith Benson going. And a foul called out top. It's going to go against Mookie Jones, 4th on the Orange. Jackson replacing Arinze Onuaku, who got about 5-6 minutes out there. Did not look like himself. We'll see if he comes back as Larry Wright's missing. And quickly the outlet scoop, finger roll. Well, the Orange beating the Grizzlies down the court, as you'd expect for Team Oakland that played in the Pacific Northwest Saturday night. Haven't got their legs under them. Wide open for Wright. They just cannot find the range. Now 2 for 15. Outside three-point range.
Syracuse doing a great job on the backboards tonight. Doubling them up at this point, 23 to 11, a little more than double, but it's a recipe for disaster. When it's one and done for Oakland and Syracuse comes down and scores, obviously it's going to be tough to overcome, but Syracuse has done a great job tonight on the backboards. I'm sure Coach Boeheim in the last couple of press conferences, that's been an issue, so they've picked it up here tonight.
The ball was tipped, so the Grizzlies keep it. Nice pass last time down by Rick Jackson. Not a big assist guy. His 74th career dish. Joseph for the stuff, and now the air ball thrown up by Maynard. Ledrick Eccles will return and replace Larry Wright. They just don't look like they've got much gas in the tank. I keep saying it, but they just don't seem to have any energy either.
And half their points from one guy off the bench.
I asked Coach Campy if he worries about this brutal schedule affecting his team, hurting it. He insists that no, the guys love to play in environments like this against teams like this. He thinks it'll make them better, and of course when the league season arrives, things will seem a lot easier. And again, it's the RPI things. Benson missing out top. There's Nelson, nice athletic rebound and the putback 100 minutes ago. But that RPI, it's not like Coach Campy thinks if they don't win their league tournament, they're going to get an at-large berth. He thinks that, hey, if they do, or when they do win that league tournament, instead of a 15 or 16 seed, they might get a 12 or 13, 14, and maybe get a game that they can win in the NCAAs. Jim Boeheim takes time with 33 seconds left in the half. His team up by 17. Still coaching. And I know, Coach Boeheim hoping for a test tonight from the Grizzlies, and they were pretty game early.
Yeah, Syracuse didn't break out of the gates too effectively, but they've just shot the ball so well. They've got the tempo in their favor, and they're getting back to what's made them successful early on in the season. It's the unselfish play. 17 made shots. They've got the 11 assists, and that's been the theme most of the season, and that just shows that they're moving the basketball, finding the open shooters. So erase the first 5 minutes. They've played tremendous since that point. The defense is doing a good job talking outside of a few isolated plays. So overall, a solid half of basketball for the Orange.
And Scoop just going to take some air out of this one. Shot clock at 10. It'll take all but about 9 seconds off the clock. That pass behind Mookie, the backcourt violation, gives it back to the Grizzlies for the final shot of the half. Then they go to Benson. Turns, shoots too strong. Nelson, another follow hoop for Derek Nelson. And Scoop unloads just beyond half court. And the Orange will settle for a 15-point lead at the half as Derek Nelson, 5 rebounds, 6 points in that first half for Oakland. And it'll give Coach Boeheim something to talk about in the locker room, eh? 5th-ranked team in the country, up 15 as they try and go 12-0 tonight.
Time Warner Cable Sports coverage of Syracuse University basketball is sponsored by Drivers Village. Visit driversvillage.com today. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. By Herb Phillipson, outfitters for the great outdoors, Liverpool, Oneida, Rome, and New Hartford. And by Surgical Services at Krause Hospital, your care in our hands.
Tonight's halftime show, sponsored by Time Warner Cable, sponsored by McDonald's, that is. I'm loving this. And the Orange loving a 15-point lead in their final pre-Big East game with the Oakland Grizzlies tonight. How about some halftime highlights? They're brought to you by MVP Healthcare. Discover their innovative plans and unique health and wellness programs at joinmvp.com. The Grizzlies getting some big production out of Drew Maynard off the bench. And they had it a three-point game early, Danny.
Yeah, really, their only bright spot offensively. He's been the recipient of a few lobs. He's shown some good range, but he's really been the only weapon for the Grizzlies in that first half. And then Syracuse, a slow start, but then they got it going. Johnson had a nice little flurry, and he played well, and then they were able to get out in transition. And this is really what helps Syracuse build a lead. This is what their comfort zone is, getting out and running, and there is the ultimate finisher, Mr. Johnson. Routen's always a catalyst with the steals. Here the strip, look at head up the whole way, and here's a great kick pass over to Trish, who put on a show shooting the ball from the perimeter.
Yeah, Brandon Trish 4 for 4 in the first half, including 3 for 3 outside the arc, 13 points. Wesley Johnson 14 points and 8 rebounds, and the Orange all over the Grizzlies, who really could not find the range. Tell you what, Drew Maynard 2 for 6. The rest of his teammates 0 for 10 outside.
Ouch. And when you can lead that sizably in rebounds and then also rack up those fast break points, if you're Syracuse, those are tremendous numbers. And that's really the character of this team. That's their comfort zone, is transition ball, creating turnovers. They're doing it well early. And the fact that they're owning the glass with Onuaku on the backboards, it talks about the way this team is going to step up and help the big guy fight through this injury.
Yeah, we saw Rinzi Onuaku for about 5-6 minutes or so. Didn't start the game. I can't imagine we're going to see him again.
He looked very, very labored, very uncomfortable. When the ball went in the paint defensively, he just didn't challenge anybody. Certainly not himself. It's a reason for concern, but he needs some rest, to say the least.
All right, the Orange getting set for the Big East opener next Tuesday night down at Seton Hall. And, well, they're rolling over the Grizzlies, but the health of Onuaku, the biggest question right now. Orange basketball team is 20 minutes away from a 12-0 start. Did you know there are just 2 teams in college basketball, 2 schools with unbeaten men's and women's basketball teams, the Orange and the University of Kentucky. SU women playing at the Carrier Dome earlier this afternoon. A little women's men's doubleheader, 2 o'clock tip with Delaware State. And the Orange ladies rolling all over the Hornets. Kayla Alexander, the freshman center, controlling inside. Lene Lampkins pulling up for 3. SU gave up 10 points in the first half and 10 more in the second half. 72-20 the final. Tyler Ash, the Liverpool product, chipping in for SU. The team improving to 10-0 on the season. Afterwards, Coach Q was asked if this was what he wanted for Christmas.
You know, this is it, you know. That's all you can ask for, you know, is to have a healthy team. We're healthy to win basketball games and to be able to come back and watch Coach Boeheim win tonight. I mean, what else can you ask for? It's a great day.
So apparently Coach Q doesn't need much under the tree on Friday. He's got all the gifts he needs so far. Orange controlling this one on the men's side as well as we get set for the second half after this. Here's what lies ahead for the Orange basketball team as the Big East season begins down in Newark at the Prudential Center next Tuesday night. That's a 9 o'clock tip. Then back home for the Big East home opener with the Pitt Panthers and the final non-conference game, the Memphis Tigers, on the 6th. That is 2 weeks from Wednesday night. South Florida in for a 2 o'clock tip. That's a Sunday afternoon affair. And then a brutal 3-game road trip at Rutgers, at West Virginia, and at Notre Dame. Of course, the RAC, tough enough place to play. West Virginia, one of the 8 unbeaten teams left in college basketball. And so the Orange have their work cut out, as always, as the Big East season approaches. The team that was picked to finish 6th in the conference will go in as the highest-ranked Big East team, and perhaps the only unbeaten. West Virginia opens its Big East slate at Seton Hall on the 26th. Leading scores in the first half, Drew Maynard, 12 points off the bench for the sophomore. And Wesley Johnson, 14 points, 8 rebounds. Brandon Trish, 13, has not missed a shot. 4 of 4 from the field, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. And now the Orange looking to finish this one off and then get a little time off for Christmas. Get home for the holidays and then reconvene down in Newark next Tuesday night. Loudon's lost his footing. Off the cut, feeds Brandon. Trish missed his first shot on the reverse. Jones on the floor to save it for Oakland.
Great hustle for the loose ball, giving up the body there.
Jonathan Jones, 6 assists in that first half on 12 field goals for Oakland. Again, the guy who led the nation in assists last year. with 8 per game, has 6 in the first half, but only 2 points. And that's where the Grizzlies are lacking right now. Big man Keith Benson, highly touted one, only 4 points in that first half. And first shot is blocked away. Rounds to Trish, fouled on the way to the basket by Larry Wright. That is his second. And Brandon Trish back to the free throw line.
Johnson starts this play with good help defense, comes over, blocks that shot, and Syracuse gets out in transition. And Trish just so physical. You really have to foul him in that situation, otherwise it's going to be an easy dunk.
Wesley 6th in the Big East in block shots coming in. Just over 2 per game. And there's Brandon's first miss tonight from the free throw line. But he does add 1 to the Orange lead. It's been as many as 19. Same starting 5 for both clubs out there to start the second half. Chris Joseph again starting in place of Arinze Onuaku, who did play about 5-6 minutes in that first half. Officially 5 minutes, registered 1 rebound and no shots, and back on the bench, and I don't think we're going to see him again tonight. He needs some time to rest that sore right leg. Wright just inside the line is not right. And Larry 1 for 7 in the first half. Continues his cold spell. Trish right where he left off. 4 for 4 outside the arc. Brandon's got 17.
Kind of what sums up the season in one play there, just how they're able to run. They make the extra pass, and the open shooter happens to knock it down. Very unselfish team, and it was well illustrated in that play there.
And the Orange have matched their largest lead. Nelson, pull-up 3, rattled out. Benson, though, able to collect the rebound and somehow got that shot to go. Degree of difficulty, about 9.5 on that one.
Yeah, good power, able just to knife through, step through the 2 long arms and a strong take.
Now can the Grizzlies keep hanging with the 5th-ranked Orange? Down 17 with a little under 18 left.
Time Warner Cable Sports coverage of Syracuse University basketball is sponsored by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward. By your local Nationwide insurance agents. Nationwide is on your side. By Northside Collision Centers. And by Community General Hospital, the #1 ranked hospital in New York for orthopedics. SU Basketball and Community General Hospital, the best keeps getting better.
Orange up 17, and with the basketball here at the Carrier Dome. Final game before the conference season begins. The Orange are tuning up. Looking at fine tune as Joseph comes up just a little short on the hammer. That was the knockout punch. Not quite landed. And Derek Nelson on the other end lays up 2 more.
Good strong take. That guy is put together and knows how to get it done around the basket. Strong take there.
That's a good sign for Coach Campy, who again wants to get him going. Averaged 17 and 7 as a junior 2 years ago as Routen's pass sails out of bounds, just right past the nose of Rick Jackson. Just wasn't ready. A no-look job.
Yeah, too good of a pass.
Rick Jackson
fooled his own player. And that's a surprising number. You see Oakland hanging with Syracuse down low in the paint.
Trish takes it away from Benson. Behind the back. Andy puts it home. Pretty assist. A couple of former JD Red Rams.
Good awareness by Trish. He realizes the defender is totally committed to the basketball, is not aware of the cutter, and just drops it for Routen's for the easy layup.
First field goal of the game for Routen's, who has 4 assists himself. Inside Hudson lays home his first 2. Will Hudson had 13 points against the Orange last year. It took him a while to get his first 2 here tonight. And a lead down to 15. Joseph feeds Jackson, up and in. Rick with the left hand.
Very unselfish play. Good penetration by Joseph. Draws the defense up and drops it down to Jackson for yet another easy bucket for the Orange.
Yeah, Jackson had 7 quick points. That's his first 2 since early in the first half. Now Benson, pretty shot off glass. Benson, just 6 points now in the game. Make it 8. Couple of layups here. Whoa! Brandon Trish high off the glass. Trish still hasn't missed on the other end. A swat. Joseph and Johnson both up for it.
Do they both get a block for that one?
Oh boy, there it is. Dagger time, Brandon Trish. Orange are up 20. Timeout, Oakland. What a sequence. The layup by Trish, the block on the other end, and 3 more for the Orange freshman. Timeout, Grizzlies. Well, Brandon Trish having himself a game, a career game for Brandon.
Great, quick first step there by Brandon Trish. And then the 3-ball that really has Oakland on the ropes at this point, but great defense by Syracuse at one end.
A career high, 22 points for Brandon. He had 21 against Cornell. 5 for 5 outside the arc. 7 of 8 from the field. What a night. 3 assists and 3 rebounds as well in only 16 minutes of action. And not only points, but big points there. That's 5 big ones. As Oakland was just kind of hanging around at 15 or so, now down by 20. Steps. Oh, a foul called. Wesley Johnson on the hand check. Second team foul against the Orange at the 15-minute mark. The officials timeout. And we'll take a timeout as well. 15 to play. The Orange up 20. Back at the Carrier Dome, center of your picture there, Scott Luton's former Time Warner Cable Sports employee. Understand he's had his early Christmas gift already. She said yes. Recently engaged. Anytime one of our...
known him a long time. That's a brave lady.
Yeah, I was going to say, anytime one of our guys finds someone to say yes, that's cause for celebration.
Yes.
And the Orange up by 20. Here the lob. Benson left it short. Got his own rebound and got fouled on the putback attempt. So Benson to the free throw line for the second time tonight.
Well, he's much more active in this second half, I'm sure. He had to hear about it at halftime, and he stepped up. He's been a part of this offense big time in the second half, much more active. And Syracuse, it's going to be a nice challenge for them in the second half to try and defend. That's a typical body and size that they'll see in conference. So you talked about the accolades that Mr. Benson brings to the table. We'll see if he can continue this aggressive play as we move on in the second half.
He schooled the Kansas center Cole Aldrich earlier this year. Had 20 points, 6 rebounds, 4 blocks at Kansas. Aldrich just 4 points and 9 rebounds. So Keith Benson has done the job against a guy many consider among the best in college basketball. A little blood on the knee, we understand, so he's got to leave and get that addressed before he can continue. So it's a much smaller lineup on the floor now for Oakland, and a hand check call. Drew Maynard picks up his first, team second.
Team foul number 2.
Johnson just hands it to Rick Jackson, had it stripped out of bounds. Tough pass, Jones the steal. Beautiful. Around the back pass to Hudson, and his pass to Wright just a little bit too tall.
Did everything right but the catch.
So even when things seem to go right. How about that kind of night? Who
That's
gets the hoop?
And they break that pressure. The ball never hit the floor. That's a great sign. Good passing. Syracuse slice and dice, and then a fortunate little break on the tip.
3 guys up there, and nobody raised their hand, but they give it to Chris Joseph on the hoop, and there's a follow by Will Hudson. His second hoop of the second half. Grizzlies showing a little press, and Hudson steps in front.
And that's the pass that defense is looking for there.
Nelson stripped on the way in, wanted the call, didn't get it. Orange among the nation's leaders in block shots as well, and steals. Joseph, that one definitely goes to Chris. Back-to-back buckets. Joseph now with 7. He's got 6 rebounds, 4 assists to go with him. And you mentioned the unselfishness, Danny. So many guys that can pass the ball for Syracuse.
Yeah.
Right now you've got 5 guys with 3 assists or more.
Yeah, that speaks volumes. And Johnson, his scoring and his rebounding, but sometimes the passing gets overlooked.
There's another.
Yep.
Chris to Jackson underneath.
You got to credit, obviously, they're passing the ball extremely well, but the guys are doing a good job working without the ball, cutting to the open spots. It's a lot of fun to work, a lot of fun to watch when it's at work.
Timeout Grizzlies. The lead, it's largest for the Orange. And back and forth across the floor. Somebody late getting over to cut off Rick Jackson, who's into double figures with 11. Johnson with 14 all in the first half, and Brandon Triss 22 to lead Syracuse in all scorers. Drew Maynard still 12 to lead the Grizzlies. Benson into double figures with 10. The Orange starting to roll here, and another large deficit for the Oakland Grizzlies to take on. And Coach Campy talking about that earlier today. They played a lot of these big-time teams at Kansas, Michigan State, such. They've lost those games by an average of 24 points. And he said, some people are getting on me about that we're losing by more than they think we should. But his point is they're getting teams A games now. They're not you know, teams are aware of Oakland and they know that they can win these games, so they're coming out ready, not overlooking them. And they're also leaving their starters in there because they know Oakland's got that three-point shooting prowess. They can come back quickly. So when that happens, you're going to lose some of those games by 30. Wild shot, Joseph. Jackson bailed him out with a board. He tried to go back up with it and had it stripped out of bounds. Coach Boeheim shot. There was not a foul call.
And when Jackson gets the ball, he's really in a situation. There's not much he can do. In this case here, he brings it down. They nearly get a strip and just kind of forces the issue there. And Syracuse, good break to get the ball back.
One more time. This time he knocks over Benson and draws the foul. And both guys end up on the floor. Benson picks up his second foul and Jackson to the free throw line.
Great feed by Rounds. See, feeds the inside hand, which is where Jackson wants to spin, and takes it strong, draws the foul. Roughton's piling up the assists at this point, Mark. Got 7 tonight, leading Syracuse, and just been really, really crisp with his passes.
He was averaging 6 in his last 5 games coming in. The other impressive thing for Andy is how few turnovers he has. Less than 2 per game as Joseph takes a break. And James Sutherland in for the first time tonight. Jackson completes the three-point play. He's got 15. Boy, Rick has become a big-time offensive weapon. The last few games, scored a lot of points for the Orange. Wesley up high for that rebound. 65 points now in the last 4 games for Rick Jackson. Sutherland missing on his first try. Brandon threw it up on a little layup attempt and missed in close. Now Wesley intercepts the pass by Jones. Wide open. My goodness. Brandon still has a miss from out there. 6 for 6.
Well, Roughton's really gets it done with the dribble penetration, the no-look pass, draw the 2 defenders up, and it gives Brandon all day to shoot that basketball.
8 assists for Andy Roughton's 25 points on 8 of 10 shooting for Brandon Trish. And now Roughton's with the rebound and running again. Trish again. Takes it inside off glass. 27 for Brandon.
Putting on an offensive show. They respect the J. He goes around you with that quick first step, and then he can throw that teardrop up high off the glass with great touch.
New season and thus career high for Trish. Continues to add to it. Derek Nelson into double figures now with 10. And that pass sailing out of bounds. So the Grizzlies will have it back, but the Orange hitting at 58% right now. Brandon Trish perfect from outside the arc, and it's all going Orange way. Tonight's Drivers Village game break. Visit driversvillage.com today. Nobody's been able to shut down Brandon Trish. 27 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and that's the only way they've been able to keep him from scoring is watch him go to the bench. Orange up as many as 30. They were up 15 at the half. They've doubled it here in the second half. Drew Maynard interfered with on the rebound. Third team foul against the Orange. First on Scoop.
His first. Third team foul.
And Holiday wishes to John Kell from Scoop.
Drew Valentine, a freshman off the bench for Oakland, along with Milutinovic. Big Ilya in there, 7-footer from Serbia. As Coach Campy just looks for something. Keith Benson on the bench. 10 points in the game, 6 rebounds, but really he's been ineffective. Invisible even. That one off Milutinovic and out of bounds to Syracuse. Exactly halfway through the second half. Syracuse beat the Grizzlies by 20 last year and on their way to an even bigger win here this season. And Coach Campy even noticing that Orange, despite those big 3 guys they lost, they look even better this year. Seem to have a few more weapons. And there's one of them, Wesley, missing badly on that one. O'Reilly battling for the board. Wesley flushing down the follow.
Guy can flat out get up. Just taking care of the garbage there, putting it to the curb.
Yet another double-double. Wesley 16 points, 11 rebounds. Johnson would have 4 straight. Nice feed there by Eccles inside of Valentine. Wesley 1 rebound short of 4 consecutive double-doubles. He had 12 points and 9 rebounds a couple games ago against St. Francis. 16 and 11 tonight, 18. And he may be able to add to that as he heads to the free throw line. Just another day at the office for Wesley.
Yeah, it's almost routine at this point. But good body position there and a good pass up and over the top. And if that ball gets over the top of the defense, it's lights out because this guy finishes at a high clip around the rim.
Now, I know it's a long ways away. They haven't even played a Big East game yet. But when do you think the last time there's been a guy who didn't even get mentioned for the preseason All-Big East team and ended up winning the Player of the Year? I mean, if he keeps this up, 19 and 11, and he just makes it look so easy. 2 for 3 from downtown. One of the best 3-point shooters in the conference. Sutherland comes up empty there, but he leaves with 19 and 11. And that went off Eccles and out of bounds with the Grizzlies. Given everything they've got, finding themselves on the short end of a big score again as Cushingberry gets set to check in. Eccles steps in front for the steal. Well, this guy's just a thief. Off the bench, he's second on the team in steals coming in. 1 every 12 minutes.
Syracuse foul. Jones. Personal foul number 2.
Jones picks up his second foul on the other end. Over the back of Drew Maynard. And now Blake Cushingberry checking in, replacing Eccles. Well, it's going to seem a lot easier for the Grizzlies in their next game. They'll face Division III Alma College on their home court next Monday. It'll seem like a whole different ball game, and it will be, as Jones gets inside for the lay-in. They begin Summit League play on New Year's Eve. They'll host Western Illinois and then IUPUI January 2nd. So some big home games coming up for Oakland, and they'll have some time to rest and regroup from this one. As Jim Boeheim calls time. A little instruction for Deshante Riley. You know, if Onuaku is going to be limited, and it looks like it'll be for a while, I mean, that's not something that's just going to heal in a week. Deshante Riley is going to need to be big quickly.
Yeah, they're going to need, 5 to 8 minutes spotty play from him at least. I mean, the area where he can help the most is obviously on the backboards. They're going to need him to step in and get some minutes.
All right, let's take a look at our play of the game, brought to you by your local Nationwide insurance agents. Nationwide is on your side. Brandon Trish and Andy Routens behind the back for the finish. Brandon Trish just doing it all tonight. The steal here, the assist in Highland real fashion. A little showtime here at the Carrier Dome tonight. And a pretty good-sized holiday crowd here to witness. Next time the Orange are home, it'll be Big East time. Pitt Panthers, January 2nd. Mookie throws in a 3. The Orange 8 of 16 outside the arc. Another ho-hum 50% shooting performance from downtown. That one never had a chance. Milutinovic shooting over Riley. Riley schools it inside. Beautiful. Didn't get the roll.
Really impressive move. He squares, face, throws it on the deck. Nice aggressive move.
Deshante Riley learning on the job here. 7:03 to go. The Orange up big.
Time Warner Cable Sports coverage of Syracuse University basketball is sponsored by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward. By your local Nationwide insurance agents. Nationwide is on your side. By Northside Collision Centers. And by Community General Hospital, the #1 ranked hospital in New York for orthopedics. SU Basketball and Community General Hospital, the best keeps getting better.
18,669 out on a Tuesday night. Christmas just 3 days away. Got all your shopping done, I assume?
Yeah, fortunately. Had one little encounter this weekend, and that put me over the deep end. I won't visit a mall for some time.
Yeah, you know, you go online and you think you're saving time, but then you have to worry about it getting there on time. Well, Orange fans know they've got a good team here as they come out to see what to expect here in the Big East season. Valentine spinning and scoring inside. I think everybody here anxious to see how the Orange match up against teams from their own conference. They have seen Syracuse blow out virtually every team they played. I mean, they have had the 3 big games, the 3 top 15 wins. And they only had 4 of those the last 2 seasons, by the way. But they haven't seen him here doing something like that. It's been all blowout city against the mid-majors. So they know Syracuse can do that. They know they can be focused for games like this. And now it's time to, I think that Pitt game, January 2nd, will be huge. What is that, a week from Saturday? Joseph fouled driving to the hole. Chris with 9 points off the bench, looking for another double-figure game. Boy, Chris, we've talked about him all year, just a different player this year. Much more aggressive, and you brought up the confidence. Joseph at double figures 4 of his last 5. That foul on the floor, so he won't get a chance at this point to make it 5 out of 6. Lob to Maynard. Boy, 3 alley-oops to Drew Maynard. Had himself quite a night off the bench. 16 to lead all the Grizzlies. Pretty scoop to Riley, plus the foul.
Way to stay with it, because he took a ton of contact and just hung in there and was able to focus and finish this basket off. Watch the excellent pass, but he takes a pretty good shot up high and able to power through it. Shows good strength there.
Just the second assist for Scoop, who leads the Big East in that category, 6 per game.
He's got a nice touch at the line.
Yeah, he does. I think everybody can see that Riley puts on 20, 30 pounds. He could be a force. Great passer as well. We've seen that. Maynard feeling it, but not that time. Joseph crossover, got by Maynard. Milutinovic came over to help and fouled him. And now Chris will get a chance for another double-figure game.
Very solid with the dribble.
Yep.
He does a good job. He's able to create and get into the lane for a big guy. He does a good job penetrating.
2 games in double figures last year, the entire season. A free throw away from making it 8 here in the first 12 of 2009. Didn't get it. Under 5 to go. The Orange cruising up by 30. Milutinovic, hard to see with all that hair, isn't it? Blocked against the backboard by Riley. Last touch by the Orange, though.
He's got the Seattle look about him.
The Serbian, the sophomore, 7 foot 255. That one intercepted. Mookie on the run, rocks it. Another steal for the Orange. They lead the nation in steals, assists, and field goal percentage, and doing nothing to hurt those numbers tonight. That is their 9th steal. Well, they do actually need a few more. They're averaging 13.5 per game. And Maynard another 2 plus the foul. Closing in on his career high.
Yeah, having a heck of a night. That was a nice, strong finish around the basket. Gives him 18 points. And he's leading his team in rebounds as well. 7 rebounds, so a nice night. 3
off his career best. She said against Delaware State. This is not Delaware State. Mookie step back and nails it. 9 of 18 outside the arc. The Orange with 2 threes now from Mookie. He's got 10 and 4 in double figures. Maynard and Benson the only 2 for Oakland. We've just been buried under an avalanche of Orange depth. Wright has had a difficult night. Now 1 out of 10. 0 for 7 for the former St. John's Red Storm guard. Transferred back to Oakland to be closer to home. Saginaw native not enjoying his return to the Carrier Dome. The Orange are rolling up 33 with 3:38 left.
Time Warner Cable Sports coverage of Syracuse University basketball is sponsored by MVP Healthcare. Discover MVP Healthcare's innovative plans and unique health and wellness programs at joinmvp.com. By Oneida Savings Bank, your link to a brighter future. By Bailey Haskell and Lalonde and BCG Benefit Consulting Group. New partners, new solutions. And by Burritt Motors, Route 104 in Oswego.
Now the Orange well on their way to a 12-0 start. It will be the 10th straight win here at the Carrier Dome for Syracuse tonight. For the Oakland Grizzlies, yet another rough road loss against a ranked team. The Grizzlies 1-20 against top 25 teams coming in. And that, of course, will extend. And 0-10 against the Big East. And really getting it handed to him tonight. Riley the block on Milutinovic, but also fouled with the body. And now with 3:17 left, here come the walk-ons. Well, shouldn't call Brandon that anymore. He's a scholarship player now. Walk-on last year, became a fan favorite. Reese replaces Scoop. Jardine only 4 points, 2 assists. Now 151 career assist for Scoop Jardine as he takes an early exit. Grizzlies trying to chip away now with this deficit, make it look a little better on the final scorebook. Crowd wants Reese to shoot. Mookie will take it. Jones 3 for 5 outside the arc. He's got 13. Mookie's not afraid to launch a few, is he?
Not at all.
New career high for Mookie Jones as Milutinovic dunks on 2. Lead at 32. So Mookie career high and Brandon Trish as well. Shante Riley. Check and see if 4 points is his career best. Ties his career best. Greg Campy, another long night.
Number 2, Savvy into the lineup, replacing Chris Joseph.
Chris Joseph leaves with 7 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Got the start tonight for Arinze Onuaku. And I'd have to say at this point, it would seem like he would be back in there next Tuesday night down at Newark, barring a miraculous recovery by the Orange big man. Brandon Trish enjoying his time on the bench in between 2 Orange legends, Hopkins and McNamara. And I don't think Brandon needs anything under the tree either. He stuffed his own stocking tonight.
Yeah, he's got quite a line going. I think it's safe to say it's complete with 27, 4 boards and 4 assists, but perfect from behind the arc. That's quite an evening.
6 for 6 from downtown for Brandon, who again had 19 points in his last 3 games. And it's not like he decided he wanted to go out and score some points tonight. They were all falling. He took his shots when they were there, and they went down. And now Coach Boeheim empties the bench. Griffin Hoffman, Matt Lyde-Cajuste out of Mount Vernon, Nick Rasavi, 3 walk-ons, DeShante Riley, the true freshman, and Brandon Reese, the veteran out there, sophomore, who was a walk-on last year. So now no matter who shoots and scores, the fans are loving it. Well, you've got to give these guys credit for being ready for every team. And again, we go back to that Lemoyne game about 6 weeks ago here now. Was it 6 weeks ago tonight? They lost to Lemoyne, and it couldn't have happened better for Syracuse. Here we go. Reese and Rasavi. It's Reese. The crowd and the Syracuse bench on its feet. Brandon Reese finishing the fast break. The crowd wants more. Reese's first points of 2009. And John Cast in for Greg Campy as he's also emptied the bench. Jay Thames, redshirt freshman in. And Milutinovic pops the baseline jumper, and Lyde Kajus with the rebound. Final 30 seconds of a 32-point victory. Syracuse closes out the pre-Big East season in style. And many of the 18,000 plus that were here on their feet as Coach Boeheim and Campy already shaking hands. And Coach Campy will get help for his RPI, win or lose here tonight. But a 32-point win for Syracuse, the 12th straight to start the season for Coach Boeheim and company. They'll enter Big East play a week from tonight, unbeaten. 92-60 once again our final. Brandon Trish with 27 points to lead all scorers. And an easy win for Syracuse over the Golden Grizzlies here tonight. I will come back and introduce our player of the game when we come back.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. I got it here, so we should be good, right? Thanks, Mark. Brandon, you guys came out and just jumped on them right from the get-go. What does a game like this do for you as you get ready to go into the Big East?
It's a lot for us. You know, last couple of games we struggled. So this game we try to come out, you know, play defense, you know, and stick to our fundamentals.
Well, you came out and shot the ball extremely well tonight. What point in the game did you feel like you had the feel or you had the stroke on?
After I hit my second one, you know, I hit 2 in a row. I don't think I missed a 3-pointer, so I figure I'll keep shooting until I miss.
6 for 6 is pretty good from behind the arc. Let's talk about headed into the conference. You guys have beaten every team by double digits, some top 10 teams. How do you feel you guys are prepared as you head into the Big East?
I think we well prepared. You know, coaches, they're on us, you know, every day to go hard. A lot of times just competing against each other is better than, you know, playing against the lower team. So we just go hard in practice, and it's reflecting right now.
Well, good luck to you. Happy holidays.
Yep, thanks a lot.
Mark?
Welcome back to the postgame show brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Syracuse rolling over the Golden Grizzlies, who've lost by 31 at Memphis and 30 at Kansas, and now by 32 here at Syracuse tonight. Let's take a look at our player of the game, brought to you tonight by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota is a smart way to keep moving forward. Brandon Trish, the true freshman, knocking down 6 of 6 outside the arc. By the way, that's a new Dome Syracuse individual record as he shoots 1,000% from downtown. Also had 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Brandon Trish, courtside with our Danny Liebke.
Thanks, Mark. Brandon, you guys came out and just jumped on them right from the get-go. What does a game like this do for you as you get ready to go into the Big East?
It's a lot for us. You know, last couple of games we struggled. So this game we try to come out, you know, play defense, and stick to our fundamentals.
Well, you came out and shot the ball extremely well tonight. What point in the game did you feel like you had the feel or you had the stroke going?
After I hit my second one, I hit 2 in a row. I don't think I missed a three-pointer, so I figure I'll keep shooting until I miss.
6 for 6 is pretty good from behind the arc. Let's talk about headed into the conference. You guys have beaten every team by double digits, some top 10 teams. How do you feel you guys are prepared as you head into the Big East?
I think we well prepared. Coaches, they're on us, every day to go hard. A lot of times just competing against each other is better than, playing against the lower team. So we just go hard in practice, and it's reflecting right now.
Well, good luck to you. Happy holidays.
Yep, thanks a lot.
Mark?
All right, thank you, Danny, and thank you, Brandon. A nice little pre-Christmas holiday treat from the true freshman, 27 in the 32-point win. Happy holidays, and a little bit happier holiday for Syracuse fans as the Orange win 92-60, win number 811 for the Hall of Fame head coach Jim Boeheim, who has just arrived inside the media press conference room for the postgame.
That just kind of broke the game open. It was a very competitive game until he started to knock down those shots. And the thing I think is good with us right now is everybody's looking for each other. Another 24 assists tonight, and if Andy doesn't have a good shooting night, Brandon does. If Arinze can't go, Ricky and Shante did a good job in the middle, so that's all good. We think Arinze will be fine. He's moving around better. It's still a little sore, so we just want to be precautionary with him, but we think he'll be back when we come back from the break and be fine. But we got through this part of our non-conference schedule the way we wanted to. We're getting, we come back a couple days and, we open up with a very, very good Seton Hall team. So we're looking forward to that challenge. Questions?
You said that Brandon's been working on his shot. So is this part of his game that you really weren't expecting?
No, I think he can shoot. I think he was shooting all right coming into the night from the three. I think he's a pretty good shooter, and tonight he had an exceptional night, but he's a pretty good shooter.
Was it a case that you just want to get him out there?
Yeah, I want to get him a little bit. He can't hurt himself. It's just a bruise, a little tiny bit of swelling in there in his thigh. It's a new place. There's nothing wrong with the surgery where he had surgery. Nothing wrong at all. So he was cleared to play. He just didn't feel comfortable going on it, but I wanted to just get him out there and get him up and down